Welcome back, guys, to round 10 of the GT Sport Championship. We are from Brands Hatch in the Red Bull Junior. This is the final round. All Neil Farmer needs to do is more or less cross the line to be champion. And off we go. Good start by everyone. In towards the first corner, Jay Houston and Domingo side by side. Right, Jay Houston and Neil side by side as they all filter down towards Druids. Round Druids, Sequan and Man of Steel a little bit side by side in the background. Going down towards Pilgrim's Drop. Sorry, Graham Hill Bend, and then up through McLaren and up onto towards the back straight. The boost is off for this race, final round, no boost, just pure pace. Coming down the drop in towards Hawthorns and round Domingo and Jay Houston a little bit close. TY getting away with it ahead for now. Not going to write anyone off yet though. The back we've got three together, so in the middle, sorry. Neil Farmack fourth, Man of Steel fifth. Like I said, all Neil Farmack needs to do in this is more or less cross the line to get points, and he should win the championship. So nearest rival I think was Jay Houston or TY, and I don't know this because I've not done the points for the championship. Neil Farmack did, but all I know is that Neil Farmack only needed to finish at this last round. Only needs to finish at this last round to become champion. They head down towards Graham Hill. I think at the back we've got a little battle. Oh, Cypher's had a little bit of an excursion there, missed a slow one. Having a little peek round the outside, but nothing to go for there as they come down towards Graham Hill Bend. Oh, Cypher goes off onto the grass, starts mowing the lawn. Mr. Slow One's going to go past on the left, or is it? No, brakes really early. Cypher still keeps down the outside and keeps the position for now. You know, Mr. Slow One did get a decent run out of that corner, so we'll have a look and see what happens here. Just shows you people fight not to be last. Mr. Slow One ducking left, right, trying to put Cypher under a bit of pressure. But so Cypher retains position for now. Man of Steel still ahead of Seek 1 and still trying to stick with Neil Farmack. Neil Farmack's not going too fast in this race, but like I said, all he needs to do is finish. Jay Houston there in the Ferrari liveried Red Bull Junior. A cracking car, this Red Bull Junior. Lovely car to drive. It's the same sort of speed as an F3 car, probably a little bit faster, except with a bit more downforce, so it's lovely to drive. There's TY going out of Druids and then going into Druids. 40-minute race this. A little bit more spread out, but back here we've got a little bit of a tussle going on. We've got Man of Steel trying to fend off Seek 1. As he comes through Graham Hill Bend over the curb. Beautiful camera there on the curbs. Man of Steel there, Seek 1 in the old Jordan colours. Jordan F1 team colours. We've got some good liveries in this race. We'll just take you through a few liveries. Obviously TY running his own colours there, the bright yellow and blue. Can't miss TY. King Domingo there in the normal Red Bull Junior colours as Jay Houston's right over behind him in the Ferrari coloured car. Having a little duck. He's not going to have a look into Dingle, is he? Surely not. No, has to back out of it. Oh, he goes wide on the grass. He's made an error in the car. He's hit the wall. Couldn't recover it in time. He's got to get going before these lot get to him. Here's Neil Farmack coming around that same corner. Jay Houston's going a bit slower. But now looks like he's going to get mugged by a few people here. Man of Steel's got past as well. There he is, trying to recover. A little bit of a scrape on the right hand side. Like I said, it's visual damage in this championship, so not to worry about the car performance. Seat 1's drafting up to the back of him now. Will he have a little look into this next corner? No, he won't. He will stay in line. So there's Neil Farmack. Bit of a plain black and red colour, not like Neil Farmack to have a plain colour, but he's gone for it in this race. There's Man of Steel, 4th place. Let's have a look at the battle further back. Mr. Slow One's there, and Cypher has unfortunately either disconnected or retired. So Mr. Slow One's at the back all on his own now. So let's see if he can catch up to anyone else and see if he can gain some more points. Meanwhile, the battle for third, more or less 4 cars in it. There's one little mistake, as Jay Houston just saw, one little mistake can take you all the way down from third and second all the way down to fifth. So no rest for the wicked. Again, Bidzster is not here because, well, I am here, I'm commentating, but unfortunately wasn't in this race because I unfortunately was still sorting my internet issues out, which have now been resolved, and I will be back for the next championship. Don't you worry about that. Jay Houston up the inside now, with Man of Steel putting him under a little bit of pressure. Man of Steel runs wide, Jay Houston goes up the inside. Will Man of Steel pressure him towards the wall? They give each other racing room as they come down towards... up towards Paddock Bend. And Man of Steel succeeds. Still in fourth place. Jay Houston still fifth. Jay's back down to fifth. Got some work to do now, Jay. A little bit more spread out, but don't worry, I'm sure things will pick up in a few laps. To go through McLaren and up, down towards Pilgrim, down towards the little drop, down towards Hawthorns. Lovely fast right-hander this as we'll go on board with Jay Houston to show you around. Just a little lift, and Man of Steel's gone off! Man of Steel's gone off! Just a little error. It's a lovely quick corner, but you get one mistake and that's it. So Man of Steel back down to fifth, Jay Houston back up to fourth, and on the chase after Neil Farmack. So it just shows you how quickly it can change. TY's just, Man of Steel goes to the grass again, he's off! He's off, he's lost it. Just shows you lose your momentum, you lose your rhythm, and it's so hard to gain it back, and he's really struggling to get back on track now. But unfortunate there for Man of Steel. Seat 1 moves up to 5th place. Jay Houston still chasing after Neil Farmack. There he is. The champion in waiting. All he needs to do is finish this race. King Domingo there, 2nd place. And he's kept the original livery on the car, which doesn't actually look too bad, to be honest. It's quite a decent livery. And there's TY coming down towards Hawthorns himself. And around it. Beautiful line there from TY as we look. Just a little bit on the white bit, and then, almost a beautiful line there. A little error there from TY. A little rare error there from TY, but gets away with it, and he's still off. There's King Domingo, just coming down towards the same patch of tarmac. Through Dingledale. It used to be a lovely little hop and a skip before they altered it, quite a few years back now. I'm talking back in the mid-90s, but they used to be a lovely little hop over the chicane, and it used to be really exciting, but now they've flattened it out into a left. But if you look on our on my YouTube page, the Bidzster YouTube page, which this video is on, you'll be able to see one of our Project Cars 2 races from the BTCC Replica Championship. There was a massive pile up there in the GP race at the end of the season, involving about 3 or 4 cars. So don't forget to check that out, guys. Meanwhile, Neil Farmack coming through the Druids, Jay Houston just coming through Druids also. A little bit more spread out now, but with the boost off and this kind of car, I don't expect anything else really, because it's quite a hard car to drive. It's a lovely car to drive, but it can be hard sometimes. You can really catch you out. You think you can drive way too quick into these corners, and then it just spits you off, as Man of Steel found out. Because of the downforce, you can carry so much speed, but then you get it slightly wrong, and that's it. So seat 1 and the beautiful Jordan livery. I do like that. You know, Benson Hedges livery. Man of Steel in a, I think actually yes, is one of the generic Gran Turismo colours, the red and black. So, and then here's Mr. Slow One soldiering round for those few extra points. A lovely little blue. Let's have a look at King Domingo. Here he is on the chase of TY, but TY's quite far ahead now. Actually, I think Neil Farmack's catching King Domingo slowly, so we'll just go on board with Neil just to see if he can show us around a little bit into Paddock Hill Bend. Down the gear. Oh, he's go. Oh, I thought he was going wide then. Just he really threw the car in towards Druids. About a second gear corner, round, bang up one gear, and then back, and then keeping in that same gear for Graham Hill Bend. Plenty of curb on the exit. And as we go up through McLaren, lovely lines there from Neil Farmack. He's definitely catching King Domingo slowly. King Domingo, who is his last lap, was a 1:24.3. So probably made a little error somewhere as well, as whereas Neil Farmack's was his personal best there on the right hand side of the screen, a 1:20.5. So definitely on the move, Neil Farmack, even though he's probably going to be champion even if he just finishes this race. He's still on it. Every race counts. Just everyone's hungry for that win. I know TY's quite far ahead, but all it takes is one mistake. There's Jay Hewson, 4th place. I think he's trying to stick with Neil also. He's just done a 1:21.6 previous lap. So they're still all on the move. Let's have a look at TY. There he is, into Druids. So he's almost a quarter of a lap ahead. 11 minutes into this 40-minute race. But still, we've got a long way to go. Anything could happen. It's not right the race off yet. King Domingo, 2nd place. Neil Farmack, 3rd. Jay Hewson there in the red Ferrari liveried car. Can't miss that one out in the crowd either. Some nice liveries in this race. We would have run the Red Bull standard car, which would have been even faster than this, but I'm sort of glad we didn't, really, because I think it would have been even more spread out than this. And also, it's very expensive, so it's a lot of money to save up in a week. So, coming down, I think, who's that? TY's about to lap Mr. Slow One, and there is Mr. Slow One. The guy kind of gets out of the way. Lets TY go through. Good racing there. Marshall's still waving the blue flag for some reason, but he's already let him through, so, oh well. TY personal best of the race, 1:19.4 last lap, so he's still trying a 1:19.7 even though he overtook traffic. So TY's still pushing hard, obviously loving driving this car. Into Druids and round. Meanwhile, King Domingo and Neil Farmack are still about, I would say, a good 2 seconds, maybe 1.5 to 2 seconds apart. There they are. Maybe 3 at a push. Going around the Druids hairpin. Heading down towards Graham Hill Bend. There's Neil Farmack behind. Still, you can use plenty of curb in this car and get away with it. Just don't touch the grass. Otherwise, it will spit you out. Plenty of curb there from Neil Farmack again. There's Jay Hewson in the same corner. Not as much curb from Jay Hewson in that one. Man of Steel coming round Paddock Hill Bend. In towards Druids. Seek 1 still going round. 1:39 last lap, so he's obviously made an error somewhere. Mr. Slow One there. I know he calls himself Mr. Slow One, but don't worry. He doesn't live up to his name. Sometimes. Oh, and Jay Hewson's up to 3rd. Neil Farmack's down to 4th. Neil's made an error somewhere, so we'll get a replay on that. Right, and here's a replay of what happened to Neil Farmack on lap 10, which caused Jay Hewson to get past. Goes wide. Oh, a little bit of a both right on wheels go on the grass. Loses a load of speed, and here comes Jay Hewson, who goes a little bit on the gravel himself, and that's how Jay Hewson closed up. And then he must have got the draft down here. Moves out to overtake and gets him on the inside into Hawthorns. So that's what happened to Neil Farmack. As we continue, Jay Hewson in front of Neil Farmack now after Neil's little faux pas. So we'll keep an eye on this little scrap as they come down to clearways. Through clearways towards the line. Just about approaching the 14-minute mark in this race. through Paddock Hill Bend. Neil's behind him. The thing is, you get a lot of turbulent air from this car because of the downforce. It's a bit like the problem with modern day Formula 1. The cars run that much downforce, there's that much turbulent air behind the cars that they can't run close together. Which is why I've sort of personally gone off F1 a bit until the racing picks up, because it's more of a procession in my own opinion. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that still like Formula 1, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I've loved Formula 1 over the years, but it's just the fact that the last few years, especially with the hybrid stuff, it's not really made it very competitive at all, and also I personally miss the sound. But moving on from F1, we are on Gran Turismo Sport. We have TY in the lead. There he is, about to cross the line, start lap 12 of this race. King Domingo, second place, approaching Mr. Slow on to lap, so I'm sure he'll get round him with no issue. Jay Houston third after Neil Farmack's little faux pas earlier. Neil's in fourth place, just behind him there. Into clearways. Round clearways to start another lap. Neil Farmack looks like he's got a decent run here. They're approaching traffic as well. Is he going to have a look into Paddock Hill Bend? No, he's not going to have a look yet. Jay Houston just defends the line a bit. Neil Farmack went a bit wide there. Nothing to worry about. Mr. Slow on getting well out the way on the right hand side there. Some good driving by Mr. Slow on. Good awareness there. As they go down towards Graham Hill Bend. Through Graham Hill Bend, plenty of a little bit of grass used there by Jay Houston as well, kicking up the dust as we go into McLaren and up the little hill and then down the other side. Wonderful flowing track, Brands Hatch. It's a beautiful track to drive. Into Hawthorns, the fast right-hander, and then this second fast right-hander here, but a little bit tighter on the exit. There we go. Through down the hill to the old Dingledell. I still call it Dingledell. There's another name for it now, which escapes me, but I still call it Dingledell because it's a lovely corner. And then out the other side through Surtees. Down towards clearways. Neil Farmack's visually closer now. You can see that. He's closer. He's right behind. He'll go for the draft. We'll see here from the far out camera. Is he going to move out for a move? He's moving right to try and put a bit of pressure on. Will he go for the move on the brakes? He's going to have a little look. Is he close enough? Jay Houston gives him a little bit of room in case he wants to try it. Neil Farmack's up the inside now, coming down towards Druids. He's going to outbrake him into Druids. Yes, he is. Jay Houston lets him go because he couldn't turn on him there. And Neil Farmack resumes third place. Jay Houston's got to try and stick with him now. So in towards McLaren, Neil Farmack regains third place. As we now look at TY in the lead, still in the lead, still putting in some good laps. There's King Domingo. So he's got a good, almost a half a lap advantage, TY over King Domingo here. So King Domingo doing well for second place, good pace in this race. Nice to see him in second. Neil Farmack, as we've just explained earlier, third place over Jay Houston. And then we have Man of Steel fifth, still going around. Seat 1, sixth place. Mr. Slow On has been lapped a few times, but he's still committed, he's still a good racer. Loves turning up for these clean races. Again, we would like to recruit more people, so if you're interested in racing, look us up on Facebook. We are Neo Racing. Always looking to recruit on Gran Turismo Sport and Project Cars 2 for championships. Possibly when the new F1 game comes out, we might do a little championship on there, we'll see. Neil Farmack, still in third place. This is the one and only battle on the track at the moment. Out of that corner, looking very, very clean. Out of there, coming down towards McLaren. Tightens up on you this corner. It's a real hard line to get because the apex is quite late. A lot of people think it's early, but then they lose speed on the way out. You've got to take a very late line around that corner. Into Hawthorns. Just in this car, a little lift and round. Jay Houston closes up a little bit there, but he can't get too close because of the turbulent air coming off of Neil Farmack's car. Got to be careful, you lose front downforce. go around Dingledale in towards Surtees. Round Surtees, as quick as that. Such, whoa, Neil Farmack almost loses it. He's on the grass on both sides. Very, very lucky there not to lose the back end. Very lucky indeed. But resumes it. It's still on track. He's still going round, probably with a little bit of a higher heart rate, but that being said, all going well so far. Coming up on someone, up towards Druids. Let's see who that is. Is that King? No, it's not King. Is it King Domingo? Yes, it is. They're closing up on King Domingo. Neil Farmack's last lap, 1 minute 20.3. Jay Houston's last lap, personal best, 1 minute 21.0. As you can see on the right hand side of the screen is where I'm looking. And then you look at King Domingo, 122, 122, 121. So he's definitely a second or so a lap slower. So let's see if these two can catch up King Domingo and do anything about it. Meanwhile, TY in the lead. He's doing laps of 1 minute 20 to 1 minute 19, so he's really got this car dialed in. Obviously loves this car, and a good car and circuit combination. There's King Domingo, just coming. See under the bridge there, coming towards Clearways, and here's Neil Farmack. It's coming under just about to there, coming under the same bridge towards Clearways, so that's visually closer as they come over the line. Start another lap. 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes into this race, so we're just over half distance. Like I said, it's a long race, anything can happen. Just because it's spread out doesn't mean it's not going to close up again. Let's keep his fingers crossed that we do get a little bit more action. Speaking of action, Man of Steel there. Who's that ahead of him? Who's that? Mr. Slow on is about to lap. Oh, I think it is. So yeah, it is. And then here's King Domingo. A little bit of a faster lap that time, picked up the pace a little bit, 1 minute 21.1, so he's found another second from somewhere, but it's still not enough for what Neil Farmack's doing, because he's, again, another roughly a second quicker. So I think it's more of a matter of time until he gets him. Oh, Neil's off! Commentator's curse, he's off! Jay Houston's going to go through. There he goes. Neil Farmack clearly there pushing too hard, but Jay Houston as well, he's a force to be reckoned with, because he's just done a 120.2, his fastest lap of the race as well, so he's just about got this car dialed into what he likes as well. Whether that lap was a one-off or not, we'll soon see, but that might give him, just seeing Neil make that mistake might give him the motivation just to go that a little bit faster and see if he can get that second place. But don't forget, all Neil Farmack needs to do is finish this race and he's champion. Oh, he's made a mistake again, so he's definitely lost some momentum somewhere and lost concentration. So just needs to do a few clean laps, gather up his rhythm and then get on the pace again. Don't, as I always say, don't try and get straight back on the pace too early, because it'll just mean another mistake. Take a lap just to try and get yourself back in the rhythm and then get on with the job. There's King Domingo, second place still. 4/10 quicker on his personal best that time round, so he's got a bit, just found a little bit of pace from somewhere. There's Jay Houston, just about to come around the same corner. Neil Farmack recovering from that error he just made a lap ago. In towards Dingledale and round it, so fast in these cars. They've more or less got the cornering pace of an F1 car, but just not the straight line speed. Farmack using a little bit more grass as well. He likes strimming the edge of the track, does Neil, in this race. Practically a gardener. But there's Man of Steel, 5th place, still circulating. He's just done his personal best, 1 minute 21.8. So everyone's slowly getting used to this car. Seat 1 there, getting out of the way of King Domingo, who's lapping him, so well done to Seat 1. Good awareness there. Didn't really have to let him go that much, but still good sporting move there. So he'll be the next one that Jay Houston and Neil come up across. But it's good to see people keep going even though they're getting lapped, because all you need to do is finish for the points. Some races you win, some races you lose. Jay Houston in the Ferrari coloured car. Let's go on board with Jay now. There's the reverse camera from Jay Houston's car. Oh, sorry. I'll get it right. There we go. There's the reverse camera from Jay Houston's car, looking at Neil closing up on us. He's come through Surtees. A little bit wide there, so Neil's going to be right on him as we come in towards clearways. Let's keep on this camera for a little bit and see what happens. Is he going to go for a move? Not here. Has to break out of it, and as they come around the last corner, will he get a good one and be in the draft? You can see him slowly closing up, but I don't think he's going to be closed up enough to make a move. Jay Houston, will he defend into the corner? Let's go back to the normal cameras now as they come into Paddock Hill Bend. He's on him. He's on him. He's thinking about making a move. Jay Houston has to go to the inside to defend. Oh, early on the brakes. Very early on the brakes, just making sure he gets the car slowed down to keep that defensive line. As they go through Graham Hill Bend. Lovely curb camera there. As we go into McLaren. Going to take that wider line, then narrow out. Jay Houston's gone a little bit wider there. That might open the door for Neil. Meanwhile, there's King Domingo going through Hawthorns, and there's these two coming down towards Hawthorns. So they still might get him near the end of the race, but we'll see if they have to defend like this. They might not be able to catch him in time. As they go through. Down towards Dingledale. Neil's having a look. He's having a little think about it. But nothing happened there. Oh, James, a little mistake on the grass, but no, gets away with it for now. How many times is he going to get lucky? Well, both of them, in fact. How many times do they get lucky just by putting a wheel on the grass and not spinning it? Through clearways. Going across the line. Jay Houston keeping a tight line, wants to make the track as short as possible. As you go through Paddock Hill Bend, both with a good tight line that time. Jay Houston goes to the inside to defend. I thought he made a little error there. But still, Neil's all over the back of him, plenty of curve there. Neil's going to have a faster run out. Is he going to have a look into Graham Hill Bend? No, Jay Houston defends. Neil Farmack, oh, I think a little bit of lag there, but nothing too drastic. As they come down towards McLaren. Round the long sweeping bend, and out the other side. They're approaching seat one. They're approaching seat one, so for seat one will be looking in his mirrors. He's been very, very courteous with traffic over the last few laps as they go close up. Neil Farmack sideways in the background, practically drifting the car. Good car control, but he's lost a bit of time there. Sideways isn't the fastest way, but it's certainly the most flamboyant. So very good car control there from Neil Farmack. You can just see how hard he's trying to keep with Jay Houston. And here's a replay from on board Jay Houston on lap 20 of Neil's little sideways drifting. You can see the back end just slides out. Oh, nice recovery there from Neil as they go through clearways and over the line. Let's go on board with Jay Houston again. Let's look back at Neil Farmack, who's chasing us into Paddock Hill Bend and round it. I think they're approaching a bit of traffic, so we'll go to the outside now. Neil Farmack looks up the inside. Is he going to make a move? Jay Houston keeps around the outside in case he was there. And, oh, there'll be a contact! They touch! But luckily get away with it. So close. That just shows you how hard they're fighting for this position. They're approaching seat one, and I think one other car as well. Might be Mr. Slow One, I don't know. Could be Man of Steel. Or it could be Domingo if they're catching Domingo up at this rate of knots. We'll soon see. I'll just have a little look. Yes, it's King Domingo. King Domingo's going through there. There's seat one. Then you should just be able to see in the background these two still battling at it. Through the fast right-hander coming down towards Dingledale. Almost approaching the 10-minute mark remaining. We've got about a minute and a half towards the having 10 minutes left in this race. Going through Surtees. Blue flags are waving for seat one, just so he is aware that there's going to be people approaching him behind. as they come through clearways. Neil Farmack still close behind him. Close but no cigar so far. Into Paddock Hill Bend. Oh, Neil's on the grass! He's on the grass, he's in the gravel! Oh, just shows you that little bit too wide, and then that happens. You have to gather it all up again and try again. But definitely a medal for trying in this race. There's Jay Houston approaching seat 1. But unlucky there for Neil, just got to get back on the pace. As Jay Houston approaches seat 1 now to lap, and then you never know, it might end up catching King Domingo. But just got to keep faith and see if he does it. But King Domingo's doing a good job of keeping the gap more or less okay. But oh, look at lap 20 for King Domingo. Not this lap, but not the last lap, the lap before that, 1:29. So we definitely had an issue there. So we'll try and get some kind of replay on that if we can. Meanwhile, there's T.Y. He's coming down towards Graham Hill Bend on the 23rd lap, so he's really ahead. He's almost half a lap ahead of these lot. In fact, he is half a lap ahead. So he's done a really good job here, T.Y. He's definitely got the car dialed in and his rhythm dialed in, so can't fault him for that. There's King Domingo in second place, just about to cross the line now, and there's T.Y. just going down towards Hawthorne, so you can see the difference in the time. There's Jay Houston across the line on his way to try and catch Domingo, and he's got past seat 1 now. There's Neil Farmack, who's yet to pass seat 1 and lap him in towards Paddock Hill Bend. I know you can see a few judges every now and again. That's just a bit of download lag, I think, from just me downloading this replay to commentate on. There's Man of Steel. He's the next victim for TY. He's getting his blue flags. You can see there on the screen, because we're looking at Man of Steel, that's what he's seen. Give way to faster cars, blue flag. So he'll get that at some point. He'll move to the side, and I think he's doing it now. He's going to move to the side, lift off, and TY goes through. So about 9 minutes remaining in this race, and we'll see if Jay Houston can catch this man Domingo, and we'll see if Neil Farmack, this man, can catch back up to Jay Houston as they go through. Lap time's fading off a little bit now because tyre wear will start to be having a bit more of an effect, so I doubt we'll see any more fastest laps. So there's TY, there's Jay Houston, seat 1, and there's Neil Farmack behind. We'll have a look at Neil. We'll go on board with him as we go towards seat 1. Up to Paddock Hill Bend. Doesn't run on the grass this time. He's learned. Makes a beautiful line through there up towards Druids. You can see the blue flags waving for seat 1, so he'll do it at some point. We don't usually use the 4-corner rule in our championships, as long as people know and are aware of it. When that other person does catch up and get on top of them, that they do let them through. So he should do it at this corner or just after up the hill. He's going wide just in case he's on the inside. He's going to move to the left and let Neil Farmack through on the right. So good driving there by seat 1. Good awareness as they go down towards Hawthorns. A little bit more grass again for Neil Farmack. Taking as much track as he can and a little bit more. But he's got to be careful not to take too much, otherwise he'll have a repeat of what happened a few laps ago. There's Jay Houston. And you can see he's pushing. He's pushing too hard. He's lost it again. Neil Farmack loses it again. I think just again it was wheel on the grass and spun round. So he's definitely trying too hard. I mean, I know he's practically going to be champion if he finishes this race anyway. But you've got to finish the race, Neil Farmack. And if damage was on, that wouldn't have been a finish. So you've got to just calm it down a bit and then try and get your rhythm back. And now you've got to pass seat 1 again. There's Jay Houston going through Paddock Hill Bend. There's King Domingo coming out of Druids. So again, blue flags waving there, but that's for Mr. Slow One in front, who kindly moves out the way to the left and lets King Domingo in second place go through. So very good driving there from Mr. Slow One. Very overly courteous, but gets the job done. There's TY crossing the line to start. Oh, he's just done his personal best, so he's definitely saved some of his tyres for the end. How he's done, I think, well, the fuel's gone down, but he must have saved a bit of his tyres as well, so, which he can, because he's got the gap for it. So, were driving there from TY. Fastest lap of the race, 1:18.7. I think that was more or less the fastest lap in qualifying as well, so not bad effort there from TY. King Domingo, second place. Don't make any errors now, otherwise that person, Jay Houston, will be right behind him. And I know he's only about a corner back, so it's still nothing. All it takes is a mistake, and there's Neil Farmack in towards this traffic now, after making all those errors in a row. You can see on his lap times there, it was 1:24 last lap, was the error, 1:20 because he had a clean lap, and then 1:26 because he had another error on that other lap. So a few laps with a few errors, but still, all he needs to do is finish. King Domingo second place, Jay Houston third. Coming out of Druids, Neil Farmack just there, seat 1, not doing a bad job in 6th place. Still going, still circulating for the points. So the next championship we do will be a 1-hour endurance race championship, or something to that effect. So that'll be up next time. And don't forget, you can check out the Project Cars Championship, which will be hopefully up by the end of the week. And don't forget to check out all my other content on the Bidzster in association with Neo Racing. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook. We are always recruiting for people who are clean or wanting clean driving, because we all know what those public lobbies are like out there. People like to knock you off left, right and centre, whereas we like to race. Clean, fair and enjoy it most of all. So that's Jay Houston going through Paddock Hill Bend. Just under 5 minutes, almost 4 minutes left to go in this race. I was a little bit wide there, but nothing that will slow him down too much. There's King Domingo approaching McLaren, so I think King Domingo, unless he makes a big error, is going to be second in this race. Jay Houston third. Neil Farmack, I think, well, he's trying to close up. Let's have a look at the lap times. 1:22, 1:21 the last couple of laps for Jay Houston. And Neil 1:21 and then 1:20.8, so he's back on the pace, but whether he can be consistent with that pace, we'll soon see. To go down Duffer's Dip towards Hawthorns. I'm down now towards Dingle Down. Board, avoid that inside curve, otherwise you'll get hopping. You can see Jay Houston ahead. That's a personal best sector for Neil Farmack. Not the fastest, but a personal best, so this lap's going to be good. Let's see if the last 3 minutes can be exciting and get on the back of Jay Houston's tail. Really fast through this last corner. You can see visually the gap coming down. So it's race on. 1:19.7. Almost a replica to his fastest lap earlier by a couple of tenths out. So he's on the move, he's dialed in, and he's on it. Trying to catch Jay Houston. You can see the gap shrinking as we look back from Jay Houston. This is what he sees in his mirror. That black and red blob closing up on him. 1:22.2 last time round for Jay Houston, so obviously his tyres are a little bit more worse for wear than Neil's are, even though Neil's had plenty of spins on his tyres and they're probably flat spotted, but that's what we get. And there we go, there's the visualisation of the gap. Coming out towards Hawthorns. Lift, in, power, fast love the gun, he's off again! Neil is trying too hard. Off again. Needs to really calm it down. Not being consistent at all, not being the usual Neil Farmack he usually is. He's fast, but not. It's fast, but it's not pretty. But he's on it again. He's just on the pace. He's just pushing overly hard. Whether it'll pay off in the long run, I don't know. He's got just under 1.5 minutes left. Sorry, 2.5 minutes left. Get it right. And then across the line. Lap 29 for these boys now. Into Paddock Hill Bend. Round they go. Neil Farmack visually closing up. Now will he be consistent enough? Now Jay Houston's having to defend now, so he's you can see the gap really closed up there. As they go down towards Grey Mill Bend, Jay Houston still keeping that tight line. Don't know if you can see the cars judging a bit, that's just the download, I'm sure that's not lag on the actual screen. Into McLaren. Round McLaren. Plenty of curb there from Neil Farmack. Gotta be careful, don't throw it away this time, Neil. They go down towards Hawthorns. Go on board. You can hear the car screaming for life. Down a gear. In the curb sideways! Oh! Again, drifting the car around, overly trying. Probably knows he's going to be champion when he finishes this race, so he's just showing off a bit of flamboyancy. There's King Domingo. I've not seen much of him in this race, but there. Oh, TY, a little error there. He's still pushing for a faster lap. Still pushing hard, having fun. Now, this might be the last lap, so that's why we're sticking with TY. I think this is just going to tick over to be the last lap. 58, 59 and 40. That's the final lap. 30 lap race. TY92 comes across the line to win the last round of the GT Sport Championship Season 2. Congratulations to TY. Good lights to flag victory there. Good race. Well deserved. King Domingo, here he is. He's almost put a lap on these boys. So these guys have still got a long way to go. Seat 1's crossed the line because he got lap 2, so he will be 6th. Seat 1 and Mr. Slow One's you see on the left hand side, he's crossed the line in 7th place as well. There's King Domingo, and here's these two. See if Neil Farmack can make a last lap push to try and gain that podium position. He's really trying. You can see the car squirming around. Jay Houston's going to be feeling the pressure here. He gets a fantastic run through Dingledale. Having a look through Surtees. But I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a last lap lunge at clearways. King Domingo is good to be second place. He's going to be second place. Third place. Through the last corner, keeping it tight. He's going to be close. He's in the draft. He's pulling alongside. It's going to be a photo finish. And it's just Jay Houston that keeps it from Neil Farmack. So that was round 10 of the GT Sport Championship Season 2. We'll see you next season.